Guess what my clients added in their brand new construction home? A pool. And here's how it all went down. First, we're gonna have a very special guest, Ace Bedich, the owner of Green Oasis, and he will be explaining the process of building a new pool here in Las Vegas. And of course, stay till the very end for the reveal of my client's pool. Let's go. All right, everybody. I am so excited to introduce you to Ace Bedich, owner of Green Oasis. How are you today?
I'm very good. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course, of course. So I actually met Ace a few years ago through a mutual client.
Correct.
And my mutual client just had only great things to say about Ace. So since then, we've stayed in touch.
Yeah, done a couple different projects since then, which has been very nice.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. So talk to us about your company, how long you've been in the business.
So Green Oasis started back in 1999. I'm born and raised here in Las Vegas.
Wow.
Went to UNLV, played baseball. That was the end of the baseball career. And so I loved being outside, so I started a landscape company. And after the landscape company for a few years, I got into the pools and did that for a couple of years, and then started the pools and landscaping all together.
Fantastic.
So it's been collectively 25 plus years. A lot's changed.
Of course, of course.
But it's still fun and exciting, and still love making dreams come true for happy homeowners.
That's amazing. So
yes.
First of all, we have a local native here, which is very, very rare.
True.
So how was it growing up here, Ace?
It wasn't, you'd go on all-star trips and be from Vegas, people would say, oh, so what hotel do you live in, right? Those type of questions.
Of course.
But it's not really like that. You don't really go to the strip much. You have a family life and a lot outside of the strip.
Yeah.
But it is nice to, we have sports now, so it's nice to go to a sporting event.
Absolutely.
And it's always still nice to go get a nice dinner and a nice, see a nice venue. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
When you leave here and you come back, it's completely different because you go somewhere else at 10 o'clock, things are closed here.
Everything's open 24
Everything's open.
hours. Yeah,
So
we
it's
get
very nice.
super spoiled here, right?
Super spoiled.
Yeah. So talk to us about the 25 years of business and the evolution of pool and landscaping here in Las Vegas.
It's really changed in the essence of it's become kind of a whole entertainment area in your backyard.
Yeah.
Before you used to have a pool, some people would do a barbecue. I would say 50% did barbecues. If not, they just had the Weber. You had a pool and you had grass. It's completely changed from that. It's really turned into kind of an entertainment area for your backyard.
Yes.
You have the fire pits, the barbecues, TV walls, patio covers. So there's just a lot of those other elements that have come into the yard that is nice because we get to do all of them. Being that we do landscaping and outdoor living, we get to do every aspect of it.
Yes.
Which is nice because sitting down with one person and getting the overall view of the project rather than getting three people to kind of come into one and build it that way is tough to do. So it's nice to be able to do everything with a homeowner to give them a start to finish project, that reflects their lifestyle.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
Absolutely. And like you mentioned, the outdoor space here is so important and so usable, right? Because we have 300 plus days of sunshine.
That's it. Right.
And it's a little warm today.
Right. But that's why you have a pool, right?
But we have a pool and we have this covered shaded area.
Right. I tell people in Vegas, if you don't have a pool, people aren't going to come visit you and you aren't going to use your backyard. If you have a pool, it really opens up your whole house and environment, which is nice.
And of course, we have to talk about the resale value of a pool and a beautiful finished backyard, right? And I remind all my clients buying new construction, covered area comes with pavers, but outside of that, it's all dirt. So it's really up to you to come up with a plan and finish your backyard.
Absolutely, and build that project out.
Yeah.
Which also helps with getting with a professional, because you might have ideas and this and that, but to put it all together cohesively is tough to do.
100%.
So that's where kind of the professionals kind of take over and take your ideas and make them one big project.
Yeah. So, over the 25 years, right? I mean, I'm sure you've seen it all.
Yes, absolutely.
And, obviously there's some new restrictions here, which we'll talk about.
Yes.
But what kind of trends are we seeing right now specifically?
So the trends over the last probably 10 years have been more of the modern straight lines. Back in the 90s, early 2000s, you had a lot of the more free-form pools.
Yes.
Kidney shapes and some of those type. But really over the last 10 years has really been the more of the modern, formal look, which is more of the straight lines.
Yeah.
Wet decks have always been popular over the last 20 years. That's where you have the 3 to 5 inches of water in the pool that you can put lounge chairs in, which is nice. Or just sit in a chair like this and have your feet in the water.
Oh, nice.
Have a cocktail. If you get hot, kind of splash up, right? So those have always kind of been popular the last 20 years. Water features have always been something that's, an element.
Okay.
But fire and water has definitely been a lot more popular over the last 5 or 10 years also.
Wonderful.
Mixing in the fire and water features has been fun and interesting to do.
Amazing.
Yeah. And there's just so many different options that you can play with both of them rather than just one or the other. So that's kind of been something new over the last few years. It's been fun.
Okay, talk to us about materials in general. Like obviously we have an evolution in design in the interior of the home.
Right.
What about exterior?
The exterior is the same way.
Yeah.
The materials have gotten really kind of overwhelming over the last few years, to be honest with you. Just so many options, right?
Yeah.
Like, for instance, you have this wall behind us,
Yes.
the decking below us. I mean, these are all new options within the last 3 to 5 years.
Wow.
So it can be overwhelming, and that's something else that a professional can help a homeowner out with also. You walk into a tile store anymore and you got 3 walls that are 10 by 20 long that are very tough for a homeowner to go, oh my goodness, I like that and that. And then piecing them all together. It's gotten a little challenging.
Right.
And there's new materials that come out that we put on, and a year later we go, ooh, maybe we stay away from those for maintenance reasons or whatever other reasons.
Right.
It's fun to play with the new materials, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But sometimes it is a little overwhelming. Yes.
And I agree. I mean, when you go to these design centers, right, it's just so many materials, so much options. And if you don't have an expert guiding you, you really get lost.
Absolutely.
You just don't know what questions to ask either.
That's the other side of it, right? Like, for instance, on the pool side of things, we like going with a bigger formatted tile because we have very hard water here in Vegas. It has a lot of calcium. Calcium is a white. It grabs onto the grout joints more so than the tile. So if we can elongate those grout joints, then we have less white ring around the pool. So just little things like that that we've learned over time, and can take some of the new materials and work with them to better a project.
Yeah. So on that note, obviously we have hot weather, we have cooler flooring. So talk about that. What materials are cooler?
So a cooler material is going to be a whiter material more so than a darker material, obviously. There's also materials that are just cooler in general. They're more of a sand finish, a white sand finish, than a darker sand finish. And so therefore the material that it's made out of is a little bit cooler than something that's darker.
Yeah.
And then as well as the different materials themselves. Some pavers are cooler than some other pavers because they're built out of cement more so than another sand material.
Sure.
So there's a lot of that comes into play also. But usually we like to stick with the lighter colors for the heat aspect.
For the heat aspect,
And to be honest, June, July, and August, you're putting flip-flops on either way.
Exactly. You're not going to be walking bare feet anywhere.
Yeah, unless you're literally going from a shaded area into the pool and the pool back to the shaded area.
You're right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's hot.
Yeah. Talk to us about the difference in the different pools you offer. For example, like there's obviously saltwater pool versus chlorine.
Yeah, so that's something that's also changed in our industry. There's a lot more options. Lighting used to be the big train light in the deep end, and that was that. Now we have a smaller LED light that could go in the wet deck area, so it lights up the wet deck area. We try to position them so they're facing away from the house. So when you look out, you aren't looking at a light, and we have more consistent lighting, so less hot spots, less dark spots, and more consistent lighting facing away from the house. So that's something that's changed over the last 10 years as well.
Sure.
Automation, which is a big one.
Yes.
You have apps on your phone.
You do.
Which are wonderful.
Yes.
It's not the old school where you go to dinner and at dinner time you say, hey, let's get in the spa when you get home. You get home, you turn the spa on, 45 minutes later, you're watching a movie or a football game, and then you go, I don't want to get in the spa anymore.
Yeah.
It's to the advantage of homeowners to be able to have that app so they can turn it on, come home, it's already heated, you put your bathing suit on, and you jump in the pool.
Yeah.
The other side of that is being able to turn on your features from inside the house.
Yes.
So instead of walking outside to your panel and turning things on and turning things off, the panel, right?
Yep.
Or rotating valves.
Yes.
And you think you're getting in the spa, and 45 minutes later you walk out and the spa's drained into the pool, and you go, okay, I guess we're not going to the spa. So a lot of those things have kind of taken away some of the mistakes that a homeowner can make and puts it on the phone where you don't have any of those issues, which is also nice.
The smartphone and the apps have been a game changer.
Absolutely.
I mean, I remember our first pool here, turning everything manually, the jets, the lights, everything. I had to go
Valves.
behind the side, and then there's all
move trees to get back there.
Move
all
bushes.
the pool equipment. Yes, exactly.
Little ninja behind the scenes trying to get everything on. But now with the app from your home.
And we even tell homeowners anymore, if you have the app, and something isn't working, just contact us.
Yeah.
Don't even try to go back there and fix it. Contact us. We'll be out, the next day or a couple days and be able to work on what needs to be fixed. So the app really is a game changer.
Yeah.
And, I would say 3-4 years ago, it's probably 50-50 whether people did the app or didn't do the app. And I'd say it's almost 90 to 100% now that people just like that app where it's...
Usability is really nice and friendly. And
absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a big game changer.
Right.
Yeah.
And then also getting into another option would be the plaster inside the pool.
Yes.
You have a PebbleTech product. You have a wet edge product, and then you also have just a blue quartz. And there's different price points of those.
Yes.
Not just to do with color or texture. Those are the two big ones. And then durability. Those are also going to give you longevity of your plaster itself. So instead of having to maybe replaster every 10 years, you're taking that to every 15 or 20 years.
That's amazing.
Which is also nice because it's just one less thing that you have to worry about, right?
Yeah.
That's another big one. So there's about 3 or 4 options. They do add, obviously, price to the pool, where, an average pool anymore is 100,000, I would say. And then you add some of those options and you could be 110, 120.
Sure, exactly.
But we leave that open to the homeowner.
Right.
Try to inform them the best that we can of what's out there, the positive aspects of them, and then let them decide.
Yeah. What's your recommendation on like the plaster element and the PebbleTech? Are you seeing more of that?
So we're a PebbleTech. I'm a PebbleTech dealer, not a wet edge dealer.
Okay.
And they're very similar products. It just comes down to what we've used and what's been good and worked for us in our homeowners.
Right.
The PebbleTech is a very nice product. You get some more of those colors that you want.
Yes.
And if you want to have, a lot of people anymore do artificial rock work. So if you want to really create that environment of that theme, then doing a PebbleTech product is probably the best route to go. If you're doing kind of more of a sleek modern theme, then you could go with the blue quartz and get away with that and get the durability and still get that refreshing blue color that you're looking for, but get that durability also.
Okay.
So there's, like I said, there's pros and cons to both, and it really depends on the design that you're going with and what personal preferences are.
Awesome. So, let's talk about the process.
Yes.
So from the time we reach out to you, like from my clients, for example, to the time of a finished product, talk to us about the process working with you.
Sure.
How does it work from the initiation to the final product?
So we start with the initial meeting, talking to the homeowner, what they're looking for in their backyard, go over spaces with them, get measurements, and then we take usually a week to 10 days to kind of get our minds going, get it on the computer program, which is something else that's changed that we didn't talk about.
Yeah.
It's not the back of a napkin anymore that goes, oh, okay, is this good for 100,000, right? It's literally a designing program that you come in, big screen TV, you get to see the design. We get to make changes right there on the fly with you. If you don't like this, okay, let's change that, and you get to see it, which is really nice for a homeowner. We're so visual anymore that it's nice to be able to see what you have.
Absolutely.
We've taken frames of what a homeowner wants, taken photos of it, which is something that we do when you start your project. We give you a kind of a picture so that you can set it in front of your window as all the dust and debris is flying everywhere, and just remember that this is what you have. And it really is what you see in that photo is what the end of the project looks like. So it really kind of hopefully lessens the pressure for a homeowner knowing exactly what they're going to be getting. We'll have you come in after a week to 10 days, put it up on the screen for you. At that point in time, we go over the design, all the proposal numbers, those options that we talked about, kind of see what you're comfortable with and without, for that matter. And then leave it to you for a week or so. I mean, it's a big process, right? And you may be getting other designs in the same point in time, which we recommend. Go out, get some different designs. See what really sticks, what doesn't stick. We don't have egos at Green Oasis. So if you see something that maybe we can incorporate that you saw from a different design, let's incorporate it and make it work where it's what you want. So after that point, if you do decide to sign a contract, we get the contract signed, we have to get engineering. Engineering usually takes a week for us to get engineering. After we get that engineering, during that process, you need to reach out to your HOA and get your ARC application. So the ARC application is all the criteria that we have to be within to make sure that we can build what we want to build in your community that you live in. We also start working on our permitting. Okay. Both of those can take anywhere from 30 to 60 days. But we're working on those together so that hopefully when we get one, we get the other, and then we can start running. Okay. So if we get approval from both, it usually takes us about a week to get it on the calendar. So we usually say from the time you sign is 30 to 60 days till we start. From start to finish, depending on the project,
Right.
you know, if we have a bigger project that has, you know, let's say it has a sports court and it's got barbecues, TV walls, and some of those things, you're going to be looking probably 6 to 7 months. An average pool, you're going to be 4 months. So you're going to be around 4 to 6 months build time.
Got it.
So from signing of contract to finish, you could be anywhere from 6 to 8 months.
Got it.
Completed.
Yeah, no, that's super helpful. I just have to say, for all the clients that I've shared your information with, Ace, my clients are blown away by your team's creativity.
Oh, thank you. That's nice. Yes.
The design that you produce, especially, and we're going to show you in a little bit, but for example, a backyard with a retaining wall, right? And how creative you were in making into something usable, right?
Yes, that's one of the big keys, right? Is taking some maybe things that a homeowner looks at as a disadvantage and turning it into an advantage, right?
Yeah, you guys, I think Green Oasis hits the home run on that, and there's so many people that are doing pools here, but I think the challenge is a lot of people or a lot of builders are just expecting the homeowner to know what they want and give them like, oh, this is the design we want, we just want you to build, right? But they don't understand that the design and the creativity of your team and the efforts that go into it, it's a big project.
It is a big process. And we just like to really listen to what the homeowner wants and then use our creativity to make that in the backyard where they go, oh my goodness, I didn't even ever think of that. I wanted that, but I never thought it could happen like this, right? So that's where really the magic comes that we really, that we enjoy, right? Turning the homeowner's thoughts into the final project.
Absolutely. And when you're in new construction backyards all the time, I mean, it's just dirt. You don't have that imagination and that creativity. It's like, what do we really do here?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
But you and your team does a great job and turns that, you know, into a beautiful
I'm glad we've
backyard.
been able to help out your clients with that.
Yeah, they're super happy.
Some of the things that we've been up to recently, we have water restrictions here in Vegas. We aren't super thrilled about it, but at the same point in time, we're still building pools.
Yes.
So they haven't cut us off, thank goodness for that, right? We are getting 600 square feet now.
Yes.
Average pool in Vegas used to be 400 square feet. But, you know, as people realize, oh, I can do 600, it really has kind of changed the game a little bit there where homeowners like, well, let's do 600. And that's where we got to also talk to the homeowner and go, okay, but this is the other side of things. We have to look at your backyard, look at the ratios, and make sure that we aren't overdoing a pool where you walk out and you have 3 feet and you're falling into water.
Yeah.
So that's something that we also have to kind of tell the homeowner, an average pool really is 400.
Wow.
If we go beyond that, perfect. And if you want to go beyond that, we can. But just keep in mind the ratios that we have in the backyard. And you still want to put a fire pit.
Right.
And you still want to do a barbecue. You still have to have an area for the dogs or the kids to have kind of their artificial turf area.
Yes.
So those are all things that we kind of have to play with. Now, in a bigger yard, that's where we kind of have a little bit more of creativity and how we got to figure out how we can utilize as much of that as possible. So what we've done recently is kind of done a separation of the pool and the spa, where you have kind of 2 different bodies of water separated. So you walk into the backyard and you go, oh, you got water over there and you have water over there. So that's kind of where we have redesigned some things to make sure that we can still have the ratio of the backyard make sense with the pool and the spa.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
The separation really helps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then if we can do like a little runnel where we still kind of have a water feature also that's not taking up a ton of square footage, but kind of creates more interest also.
Yeah.
So it's allowed us to kind of reimagine and rethink our design processes also with having that restriction.
Some of the homes I've listed recently actually has like a sunken living room with a fire pit.
Right.
Are you seeing a lot of that lately?
Yeah, so we're starting to do that a little bit more as well.
Yeah.
Because once again, that allows you to take some of that square footage of water out of the middle, put it on the sides, and then have something very elegant that you see when you walk into a house, which is one of the biggest things now also, right? With these modern homes and the open windows, you walk in and you immediately see outside, and some of them from the front yard with a big glass door, right?
Doors,
and then all the way through.
Yes.
And allows us to kind of do some more of that with the design elements and playing with that as well.
All right, shall we get everybody excited on the reveal of the pool, and I'll have Ace walk us through and talk about the different elements.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Absolutely. Okay.
By the way, if we haven't met yet, konnichiwa. My name is Kaori Nagao, your global real estate advisor, helping you find your new home. Whether it's new construction or resale, anywhere in the world, I'll be more than happy to help you. Remember, I have referral partners within my Sotheby's network in every city and every market, so please feel free to reach out to me for any of your real estate needs. If you're looking to make a move, let's connect. Scan the QR code on the screen, or you can find my contact details in the description below. I love it when you engage with me, so keep commenting and let's keep going. The moment moment you've been waiting for, the grand reveal of my client's backyard and pool. Are we ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So starting with this courtyard.
Yes.
Okay, so this is a very special space, Ace.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
We've got slider doors on 2 sides.
Correct.
With a lot of visibility, obviously, from the inside.
Correct.
So what do we have here?
So this is kind of one more of those things that we need to take advantage of. The whole backyard, different vantage points from inside the house. So this is an area here that is kind of a more of a quaint area, conversation around the fire pit. At the same point in time, spring and fall months when it's a little cooler out,
yes.
Come out here, you got your nice TV wall that has a TV on it. You and the husband or the kids, maybe kick the kids out and get them outside a little bit.
Yes.
So it's just kind of a nice space that can be utilized as well.
Yes.
And this could be utilized in multiple ways. If you wanted to put maybe the barbecue area in here, you could put the barbecue area in here.
Right.
But for this homeowner, they wanted to have this space
yes.
that when you walked in the house, that they wanted to open up these sliders, just
yes.
kind of more of a living space that can
yes.
be used.
Absolutely. So let's talk about some of these, materials that we have.
Yes.
So for starters, can you talk about this big format tile?
Yes. So this is a big format tile. This
yes.
is a porcelain paver.
Okay.
Becoming very popular to use. It's more on the higher price point, but it is very nice, like you said. Bigger
big
format, so a little less issues with cracks and things of that sort. But that
yes.
is something else to think about, is that this is a tile.
Yes.
So if you were to drop something on it, you could crack it, and that same surface on the top does not go all the way through.
Sure.
So you could possibly have a little chip that you would see at that point in time. But yes, a very nice, modern, bigger formatted tile.
Yes, absolutely. And what do we have here?
Then you got the fire pit. So once again, you talk about kind of different tiles, right? So this has a little bit of texture to it.
Yes.
Because of the texture of it, we kind of played with some of the way that we lined this out, and then went with the same type of colors
yes.
for the fire pit with the fire glass.
Yes.
Something else you could do instead of fire glasses, you could do fireballs, and then have sand in there or some fireballs. So there's lots of options that you can go with this. Whether you stone some of the fire pit, tile the top. So there's a lot of options on the fire pit side also. I know you just think of it as a fire pit,
yes.
but there's reasons for designing it in certain mannerisms.
Absolutely. And I mean, it is warm here, obviously
Yes.
today,
Yeah.
but like in the winter month, it's
Absolutely.
a really nice area to activate, have
Absolutely.
intimate conversation, maybe have s'mores.
That's right, yeah.
Right, hot cocoa.
Fun, yep. Fun with your kids, right? Another
Fun with the
outdoor
kids.
element with the
Yep,
kids.
exactly.
Get them out away from their devices and get them out get them outside a little
Absolutely.
bit. So yeah, fun option.
Yes, absolutely. This is fabulous. And then texture tile, Ace, is
Yeah.
like really trending right now.
Yeah, it is trending right now.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, the browns are kind of coming back in. It
Yes.
was for a while there, the blacks and the grays. And now the tans and the earth tones are kind of coming back in and still blending with the grays and the blacks.
Yes.
But just kind of giving it a little bit more color and texture to it as well.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
Yeah.
different design.
Different designs.
Yes.
So moving on to this wall.
Yes.
So what material is this?
So this is another tiled material.
Okay.
But it gives that look of a wood.
Yes.
Unfortunately, with the weather that we have in Vegas, we can't do wood.
Yeah, we cannot.
Unless you want to have a lot of maintenance over and over and over again.
Yes.
So we kind of have to find some other tile elements that give us that same design element of a tile.
Wonderful.
And this is one of them.
Yeah, a lot of people doing the TV wall.
A lot of people doing TV walls. Windows in them to kind of create a little something. We'll do countertops below to add a little bit. They wanted to leave it a little bit more open so that they had the options to do more in this space.
Yes.
So that's why we did that. And then you can see that, they're kind of making their way with it. They have the pots over here to add some of that more color in as well.
Right.
So yeah, it's a fun element. Like I said, back outside.
Yes.
And enjoying every aspect of your yard
house.
that you have at the house. Yes.
Absolutely. All right. Let's come on down through the side yard. And what do we have here?
We have a lemon tree. So lemons and limes grow very well in Vegas. So it's kind of one of those things again, that's kind of play with your yard a little bit, be able to walk out, grab a lemon, grab a lime. So they wanted to have this out here, and they don't get very large, so it won't impede the walkway at all.
Yes.
But at the same point in time, when it has some color on it, from inside looking out, you kind of have a little feature also.
I love that.
So that's kind of what we did here.
I love that. And we planted some trees here.
So planted some trees on the back side. Once again, we talked about HOA and what's allowed and what's not allowed. So we can, on these TV walls, we can only go 8 feet high.
Okay.
And so because of that, we still wanted to make sure that too much sun wasn't getting in because this is west facing.
Yes.
And so we did some trees up above it to kind of filter in that sunlight and give us a little bit more shade in this courtyard area.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we did those there. And these are a bottle tree that grow more pyramidal shaped.
Nice.
So they aren't going to be, overwhelming and hit your house and cause issues down the road. Those are something else that obviously we like to think about a lot also, right?
We do.
At Green Oasis, we don't like to have people calling us in 5 years and go, why'd you do this or why'd you do that type thing, right? So we want to discuss all those and make sure that all those are talked about with the homeowner.
Wonderful. And the pool equipment's down here.
Pool equipment's hidden down on this end.
Nice.
So it's away from everything. And with that app that we talked about, you don't have to go down there anyways.
Yes.
So there's no reason to go down there, and that way it's out of the way. Can't hear it, can't see it.
Fantastic.
Out of the way.
Yeah, great, great.
Yes. So moving down the walkway here, we wanted to obviously make this flowable space and usable space so people can flow from the courtyard to the backyard.
Yes.
But then we're kind of limited on space, right?
Yes.
So we have star jasmine here, and as you can see, as it gets leggier and leggier, we'll have vines that go up, and this will literally trail this whole wall, because as we know in Vegas, we have a lot of walls in Vegas.
Yes.
And so the other thing that we did here is we painted the walls.
Yes.
Which really takes away from kind of that, what people call the prison look, right?
The blocks,
Yeah, the blocks and the prison look.
Yes.
So sometimes we stucco and paint it, but this is a really inexpensive way to kind of lose that look with just painting the walls.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of HOAs that allow us to do that, so that's what we did here.
Yes.
But also we wanted to have some greenery so that when you look out the windows,
yes,
you have some of that greenery out each window.
Yes.
And then we just added some other plant material down below.
Yes.
It's just kind of unique and ornate.
Yes.
Have a little flowers to them.
Yes.
It's just kind of fill in the area. We didn't want to go too crazy here.
Yes.
But still create that greenery and that nice look all the way through.
Yeah. And these are river rocks?
This is river rock.
Okay.
So yes, so this is rock in Vegas is what we do. You can do some shredded bark, but most of the time that kind of the wind will take that and you'll have to redo that, more frequently than the rock. So I would say probably 90% of the time we're doing rock, and river rock is one of the options that we have.
Wonderful.
Along with probably 10 or 12 different other colors and sizes that we can play with.
Wonderful.
Yes.
And I see lighting here.
We got lighting, yes, of course, because like I said, we want to accent everything in the evening time, because that's really when Vegas comes alive, as we all know, right? In the evening time.
It does, absolutely.
So you want to kind of create some of that ambiance in the evening time. Like I said, if the windows are open, you have that lighting and kind of accenting again the inside and outside of the house together.
Wonderful.
Yes.
All right, could already hear the water features.
Yes.
Yeah, are you excited? All right, okay. The grand reveal, ta-da!
So like you had mentioned, something that we kind of had to work with the homeowner on and kind of figure out how we can utilize as much space of this yard as we could.
Yes.
And one of those was that wall that we have.
Yes.
And that was a retaining wall. There's a lot of properties that we have in Vegas because of the elevations that we have in Vegas, correct?
Yes.
So we just kind of figure out how to work with those, and it worked out really good in this mannerism, because we're able to create a seating area up top.
Yes.
And you'll see also, I'm sure in the video, that once you get up top there, you have a beautiful Vegas view of the Strip.
Yeah.
So we were able to utilize actually what they had given us here to create that seating area. At the same point in time, another area in the yard that we try to create some rooms in the yard.
Right.
So maybe if the women are here, the men are there, the kids are here, the adults are over there, kind of create some of those spaces in the yard of rooms. So that's kind of another area that we created up there.
Yeah.
And then you have obviously the turf area. Not a large space, but enough for the kids to kind of come out here and lay out if they wanted to. Or if you have pets, you know, a pet area that a pet can come out and do what they need to do and enjoy this space as well.
Yeah, so let's take a moment to just really admire what has been happening here, right?
Yes.
So this was the existing retaining wall.
Yep, so the existing retaining wall came out to this point here.
Okay.
And then we just kind of built on top of that and kind of gave that little tiered look anyways.
Yep.
A lot of times homeowners like that tiered look, so it was almost created here for us that we could utilize. And down below, we just kind of wanted to do some lower stuff.
Yep.
Just kind of some fillers to create some of that green. At the same point in time, give a little bit of color with the yellows, and then obviously the yellows and the pinks are great contrast to each other, so we kind of threw some of those colors in.
Okay.
And then as well, we did the bottle trees here.
Yes.
To kind of cover up the wall.
Yes.
And privacy, right? I mean, when we're in Vegas, there's a lot of windows that look into other windows because of the yards that we have, correct? And so we try to visualize how that's going to be windows open, windows aren't going to be open, things that you want to see, things you don't want to see. So that's why we did some more of these bottle trees to kind of hide the house.
Yes.
And then we mixed in also some blueberries, which kind of just give us a little different feel and texture and greenery in the yard.
Yeah.
And they kind of wanted to go with kind of that spa feel. So we mixed in a couple of the, you know, the desert, a little bit of the desert vibe with the agaves.
Agaves.
Yes. And also played with those with the different sizes of them as well as the different colors of those.
Yeah, this is really cool looking.
Yeah,
This one.
the century plant. And it'll get large. I mean, it'll really fill in this area and get about 3 feet wide
Yeah.
and 3 feet high.
Nice.
So that'll kind of add a little bit more of that color.
Wonderful.
And then we have the lantana, a trailing lantana. So as this grows, it'll kind of grow and soften this as well.
Nice.
And then once again, kind of playing with the purples and the
Flowers.
yellows.
Yeah, beautiful. What other questions do you have about building a pool? Comment below and I'll be more than happy to respond. All right, so as we come over here, what do we
Get
have?
into the pool.
Yes.
So as we talked about that wet deck area. So that wet deck area is like exactly how they're using it, where you can sit in here, enjoy a drink, have your body in the water a little bit, but still get some sun if you want to get some sun, and just kind of an enjoyable area.
Yes.
And if you don't want to have the lounge chairs in there, you can also put chairs in there so that you can sit in there and just kind of still have your feet in the water.
Yeah, fantastic.
And for infants,
Yes,
right? Another one is
perfect.
the infants. Infants love sitting in this area. You can see the little wet deck bubbler that we did over in the corner.
Yep.
So we did that over here to create that water feature.
Yes.
A lot of times we'll put that in the wet deck also.
Yeah.
And so if you do have a little kid or even a dog for that matter,
Right.
they can have their fun with it, right?
Exactly.
And then we always put an umbrella hole in that wet deck so you can have an umbrella here if you don't want to be in the sun.
Right.
And create that shade over top of that area.
Wonderful. So now that we have like a big vantage, view of the pool, how big is this pool? And I mean, this looks pretty big.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So once again, talking about the ratios of the yard, right?
Yep.
So this is about a 400 square foot pool. So this is an average size pool.
Okay.
Okay. And then the spa is an 8x8, which is a little bit bigger than average.
Okay.
Usually an average spa is 7x7.
Right.
But with the efficiency of the heaters, we can get 10x10 and still heat that thing up within an hour.
Wow.
You know, depending on obviously time of year and everything
Time
else.
of the year.
But it allows to get, 6 to 8 adults in that thing where you aren't
Yes.
playing footsies and you have room
Yeah.
and feel spacious enough to be in it with some other people.
Yeah.
So that's really
Wonderful.
nice.
Okay.
The decking, once again, the stairs going
Yes.
up to lead to this
Yes.
kind of gives that
Special
grand
moment.
look as you're looking out. And then the water features on both sides to kind of break up the bigger wall.
Yes.
And then obviously the sheer here, just a nice black, simple sheer
Yes.
to give you that water coming off that front side.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll make our way up there eventually.
Yes.
Let's make a loop here.
Okay, we'll get coming
All
around.
right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what do we have over here?
So once again, another seating area. We wanted to leave some spacing in here so you can have a nice table and chairs.
Yes.
You can sit out here.
Yes.
Once again, that front door, if you were looking through the house, comes right through.
Into.
So you're seeing a raised seating area.
Yes.
You're seeing the water features on both sides.
Yes.
As it gets a little bit darker, you'll also see, as we talked about, the lights. So we also did 2 lights over on the side
Yep.
that then illuminate those bubblers as well to
Yes.
create another bit of that water feature and that lighting that we talked about, which is a big thing in the evening time.
Wonderful.
So all the trees have lights on them. So you have the white lights of the trees.
Yes.
You have the different colors, whatever you want to have, right?
Yeah,
If the
on
kids
that.
are involved, they're going to have
Different.
the disco with the different colors.
Yeah.
Which is also fun with that app, is that you can make them faster or slower.
Yes.
You can even dim them. So like even in my own house in the evening time on like a Friday and Saturday, I have them coming on at 5 o'clock. Just nice dimmable.
Yeah.
So it's not overwhelming the backyard, but
Yes.
just a nice ambiance in the evening time. On the weekend, just kind of bring everything down to
Quiet
calmness.
down, yes,
right? Quiet it down
absolutely.
through the hectic week.
Yes. Beautiful.
And then something else that we do is you get into the skimmer and the autofill. So they aren't the prettiest thing.
Yes.
But if we can use them where they kind of hide a little bit more rather than the old plastic rings, you have this beautiful deck and you
Yes.
don't want to have it obviously
Yeah.
jumped with some plastic.
This
So
is
we do little
fantastic.
things like this to kind of hide those. Hide those a little bit more.
Makes
Then you
sense.
have the water features also of the spa. You can have the whole spillway open. You could do the 2 like they have here. You could do 3. You could do 1.
Yep.
You could do 8 little runnels going through there. So there's a lot of options that you can do with that spa to create that, once again,
Yeah.
different water feature.
Are you seeing more of this elevated spa lately?
Yeah, so the elevated spa, it's called the sit and spin design. Sit down easily, kick your feet around to get
Yeah.
in, rather than, a step in, step down.
Right.
And sometimes if you have the space, you know, you can step up to
Right.
it.
Yeah.
But then at the same point in time, going back down, you have to have steps.
Yeah.
Which then takes away some of the seating in the spa.
Right.
So those are all things to kind of consider when going through this on how you want to get in and get out of the spa.
Yeah.
Yes, very much so.
My clients love jacuzzi,
Yes,
and therefore
yes.
it's a bigger jacuzzi
Absolutely, yes.
than
the
a
more
regular
8 by
size.
8,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. It's
And then
fantastic.
also something else that we do is we usually put a lot of benches on the deep end also. So that when their kids are in there and they're in the deep end, the 5, 5.5, 6 feet,
Yeah.
they have a place to kind of get to the sides to relax and get that safety. And it's per code also that we
Yes.
have an entrance and an exit on both sides of the
Yes. Wonderful.
So that's something that you see the
Yeah.
benches along the back side
Yeah.
there.
Makes sense. Okay.
And then kind of getting into the final piece, which is the barbecue,
Yes.
you know, bar area. A lot of times we'll do these kind of side by side with the spa, or we'll do them kind of where the TV wall is so that you can either sit here and look at the TV,
Right.
or sit here and conjugate with the people that are in the pool, and so that you can have that conversation
Yes.
and enjoy both spaces at the same point in time.
Wonderful.
You know, on the barbecues, that trend's always changing also, right? So the pizza oven's a big one now.
Yeah.
And then the griddle's also something else that people are really enjoying
Okay.
to cook on is the griddle.
Nice.
So instead of doing a grill, you can do the griddle. And if you needed a bigger spacing,
Yes.
you know, for prep, we can make things bigger.
Wonderful.
And then just kind of, we did something here, which is kind of the openness and just
Yeah.
the open leg, right?
Yes.
So it kind of creates a little bit more so it doesn't close things down and
Yep.
make it look like a smaller space,
Yeah.
but a larger space.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
kind of give that modern look to it as well.
Yeah. This looks like it's floating on the top.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of that,
Very
that
cool.
floating,
Yeah.
floating space.
And there's textured tile on
And
the
texture,
side.
yes,
Mhm.
exactly. So
Yeah.
the same tile, but
Yes.
textured and then smooth,
Yeah.
which is kind of fun to play with
It
as
is
well.
very fun to
Yes.
play with. Nice.
And they did the same thing with the pool.
Yes. I
So the
noticed that.
waterline tile
Yes.
is a smooth,
Yes.
and then everything that's raised out of the water is that texture,
Textured.
which is nice also.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we go up?
Yes. Let's
Okay,
go up.
let's go up.
I'll follow you.
Okay. So let's take a moment to sit here on the top. Wow.
Yeah, so you just
I
kind of get
mean,
to see the whole yard.
Yeah.
Right?
This is nice.
Just creates a whole nother space for you to
Mhm.
sit. And like I said, the view of the strip in the evening time
Yes.
is just kind of icing on the cake.
Icing on
right?
the cake. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. Who would have thought of like a seating area on the top
Right.
like this?
Yeah, I mean, it does take up a little bit of the room of the
Yeah.
pool, but those are also things that we talk about with the clients and say, hey, you know, we could utilize this space, we think, a little bit better with the decking rather than the pool aspect, or vice versa. Sometimes people are like, oh, I want more decking. You go, well, 2 more feet of decking, I don't think is going to do much for you.
Right.
But 2 more feet of pool is going to add a lot more value to the pool.
Right.
So there's always those type of things that we need to look at and discuss
Yeah.
with the homeowner.
Yeah.
You take a yard like this, and then you add the $1 million view,
Yep.
and it takes it to a whole nother level.
Wow, let's take a
Right.
moment to check out these
Yeah.
views. From up here, you can see, you know, you can see Mandalay Bay, Luxor, Excalibur City Center, Caesars.
Absolutely.
Beautiful,
Absolutely.
beautiful.
Yeah, all the city center. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it really is. I mean, it takes it just to the next
level.
Absolutely. And kind of sitting it back here a little bit, you aren't next to your neighbors.
Right.
So when you are up a little elevated, you still
Yeah.
aren't seeing your neighbors. So those
Yeah.
are things that had to be thought about as well, right?
Exactly.
Because originally we thought maybe put it over there in the corner so we weren't eating up some of this space.
Right.
But you don't want to be up here
Yeah.
and your neighbors down below and you're impeding them and they're
Yeah.
impeding you
Yeah.
and it's just kind of awkward,
Awkward,
right?
yeah.
So you got to think about all those type of elements
We
when you're
do.
laying out and designing it.
We do, absolutely. So Ace, how much does somebody realistically budget for a custom pool like this?
So a custom pool like this is going to run you anywhere from probably 100 to 160,000. And then on top of that, you're going to have, you know, your landscaping, your patio covers, your TV walls, your barbecues. Realistically, this project is around $200,000. And I would say that's a pretty good, solid number to think in your mind if you want to have all those features in your backyard. So 20 years ago, I would say you're probably going to get 20% of that out of your home, and your home's going to sell quicker, right? Because people don't want to do this. They want to have it done, turnkey, walk in, and start loving and enjoying, right?
Yes.
And I would say more now, I'm seeing probably more like 50%. So if you're putting 200,000 in, you're at least getting 100,000 back out of it.
100%.
And then, you know, for me, not just because I'm a pool builder, but it really does change your life. It changes your lifestyle.
It does.
Without a pool in Vegas, you aren't going in your backyard very much.
Yeah.
With a pool in Vegas, you're really enjoying every element of your yard. If you don't want people visiting you, then maybe don't tell them you have a pool, because that makes them come out even more.
Exactly.
But really is life-changing for you and your family.
Yeah.
And allows you to really enjoy your time with your family.
Absolutely. And it's a lifestyle, right? We always talk about that at Las Vegas Sotheby's, but it's a lifestyle choice.
Absolutely.
And to be able to activate these spaces to really enjoy your home even more. So it's not just the inside, but it's the outside.
Correct.
And now with these, beautiful sliding doors and even pocket doors, they disappear.
Right.
You get to really enjoy that indoor-outdoor space throughout the whole year with your family and friends.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Ace, so much.
Thank you so much.
As always, this
Thank
was an
you.
amazing
Yes.
interview and tour.
Yes. Thank you for having me. I appreciate
always, always. How can people reach out to you and find you?
So you can reach us on the website,
Okay.
Which is Green Oasis. That's GREENOACES.
Yep.
So it's kind of a little play on my name, Ace.
Yeah.
So it's not a typical Green Oasis. So it's OACES.com.
Yes.
Or you can call the office, which is 702-916-4777.
Wonderful. All right. So there you have it, you guys. Please reach out to Ace for any of your pool needs, and thank you so much for watching. So what did you all think? If you want to stay up to date on new construction, living in Las Vegas, and market trends, make sure you check out one of the videos surrounding me. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for finding me. It'll make me really happy if you could smash that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're made aware of my weekly content. If you found this video educational, please share it with your family and friends. Thank you so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see you on the next one.